Africa is a continent of immense natural wealth. From vast oil reserves to glittering diamonds, it possesses a treasure trove of resources that could fuel economic growth and prosperity. However, despite this abundance, Africa remains tragically poor. This paradox of plenty, where resource wealth coexists with widespread poverty, is a complex issue with deep historical roots and multifaceted challenges. Understanding this paradox is crucial for identifying effective solutions and unlocking Africa's true potential. The continent's abundant resources have often become a curse rather than a blessing. This is partly due to the phenomenon known as the resource curse, where countries with abundant natural resources often experience slower economic growth and worse development outcomes than countries with fewer resources. This is often attributed to factors such as corruption, price volatility, and a lack of economic diversification, leading to an over-reliance on a single resource. The historical context of colonialism has left an indelible mark on Africa's development trajectory. European powers carved up the continent during the scramble for Africa, exploiting its resources and people for their own gain. This exploitation disrupted traditional systems of governance, agriculture, and trade, creating lasting dependencies that continue to hinder progress. Colonial powers often implemented extractive economic systems designed to funnel wealth back to their metropoles. They invested little in education, healthcare, or infrastructure for the indigenous populations, hindering human capital development and leaving a legacy of inequality. Moreover, the arbitrary borders drawn during colonization often grouped together diverse ethnic groups with historical tensions, sowing the seeds of future conflicts that further destabilize the region. Corruption is a pervasive problem in many African countries, acting as a significant impediment to economic growth and development. It undermines the rule of law, discourages foreign investment, and exacerbates inequality. When corrupt officials siphon off public funds for personal gain, it deprives citizens of essential services such as education, healthcare, and infrastructure. Transparency International's Corruption Perceptions Index consistently ranks many African countries poorly, highlighting the systemic nature of the problem. This lack of accountability erodes public trust in government institutions and hinders efforts to promote good governance. Addressing corruption requires a multi-pronged approach, including strengthening institutions, promoting transparency, and empowering civil society to hold leaders accountable. Section 4. Mismanagement and its consequences: squandering potential. Beyond corruption, mismanagement of resources is another major challenge. This includes inefficient government bureaucracies, lack of technical expertise, and short-sighted policies that prioritize short-term gains over long-term sustainability. For example, over-reliance on extractive industries without investing in value-added processing or diversification leaves economies vulnerable to price shocks and fluctuations in global demand. Furthermore, inadequate infrastructure, such as poor transportation networks and unreliable electricity supply, increases the cost of doing business and hinders economic competitiveness. Addressing mismanagement requires investing in human capital, promoting technical expertise, and fostering a culture of accountability within government institutions. Section 5. A crisis in education and healthcare. Investing in human capital. Investing in education and healthcare is paramount for any country's development, and Africa is no exception. Unfortunately, many African countries face significant challenges in these areas, with low literacy rates, high rates of preventable diseases, and inadequate access to quality healthcare. This lack of investment in human capital creates a vicious cycle of poverty, limiting opportunities for individuals and hindering overall economic growth. Improving access to quality education, particularly for girls, is essential for breaking this cycle. Education empowers individuals, equips them with valuable skills, and fosters critical thinking, all of which are crucial for economic and social progress. Similarly, investing in healthcare systems, improving sanitation, and combating preventable diseases are vital for creating a healthy and productive workforce.